Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's second video we're going to just look at the latest what's going on with the major snow event through parts of Northern England, Northern Ireland and Southern Scotland at the moment. It is playing out pretty much as expected at this stage. I will say the snow line is perhaps further northwards than I had anticipated, perhaps in the last 24 hours, but again, some models were right, some models were wrong. We are seeing widespread snowfall through Northern England, Southern Scotland, and surprisingly, that has pepped up quite a bit in the last 24 hours through Northern Ireland as well. There was always the risk of snow, but we do have an amber warning now issued. There was issued early today, but after I had posted my earlier video, so we hadn't covered that. But there is an amber warning towards parts of southern and eastern Northern Ireland, where we could see once again 20 to 30 centimetres. Now the main focus is on these various amber warnings, and you can see it is very marginal through parts of Northern England at the moment. You can see the spine of Northern England through parts of Yorkshire. That's where we have snow falling at the moment. Elsewhere, it is extremely marginal, and you can see these areas in the Midlands, near Derby, Nottingham, up towards Mansfield. These areas separated by a few tens of miles, we're seeing very much on and off snow, sleet, rain, ice, so it is very marginal, these areas. From the looks of the live radar at the moment and looks of observations, we're really only seeing major snowfall in those amber warning areas. Where we see the yellow, we do have some snow, some ice, some sleet, some rain, but of course with that wintry mix it doesn't allow it to accumulate a lot, so you could see a lot of falling snow at times, but really it's only where we're seeing predominant snow, which is in those amber warning zones, and up towards southern Scotland where we're seeing a lot of settling snow. Now of course, the further northwards you go, the more likely it is that it falls as snow, but then of course we see lighter precipitation, and the precipitation really is going to get pepped up by this stuff down in the Midlands at the moment and parts of North Wales, but of course that's not going to get as far northwards as the low is starting to peel southwards slowly over the coming hours. So, through southern Scotland and far north of England, it's not marginal at all here. So low-lying areas and coastal areas is widely falling as snow, but the precipitation will sort of settle away over the coming hours. So you probably will see some settling snow here, but it will start to wane as it does sink southwards. Definitely more risk of snowfall in the northern areas than the southern areas, even though they are seeing the heavier precipitation. It is a lot more marginal at this stage. It's really only that amber warning zone up the spine of northern England that we are seeing significant settling snow. But as I said, the surprise is that part of Northern Ireland. Again, it's not a surprise, but it has very much pepped up in the last 24 hours or so, the risk we are seeing there. And there's snow also through parts of the Republic of Ireland as well. Again, uncertain how much this is actually falling as snow, as that milder air does undercut it. But we will continue to see some very heavy snowfall through tonight. And of course, as this does peel south and eastwards, it will bring that snow line further southwards gradually. So these areas in the Midlands, probably post-midnight, will start to see all this heavier precipitation turn back to snow. So we could see some further accumulations there, but nothing too major, maybe a few centimetres come the morning. Further southwards, we've got heavy rain pushing in, blustery rain coming with that, very strong winds, but of course temperatures around 9 or 10 degrees. We put on those temperatures just before 8 p.m, and you can see the stark contrast, very mild in the south. Even across the Midlands, where we are seeing rainfall, it is actually close to freezing, around 0 or 1 degree, but it's because the dew points and the upper air temperatures are up towards sort of the North Midlands and Northern England are now reaching freezing or above freezing, mean it's impossible to see precipitation fall as snow if those upper air temperatures are above freezing. So that's why, even though these areas are very cold, if you go out there in the Midlands tonight under these heavy showers, it is going to feel freezing, going to feel like it should be snowing, but it's those upper air temperatures that are prohibiting that. You can see further northwards it is as cold, if not colder, but with those colder upper air temperatures widely falling as snow. Again, if we put on those dew points, another thing that's prohibiting any snowfall further southwards into parts of the Midlands, you can see those lighter greens are spreading northwards. It is very difficult here because the 0 point of the dew points has got very fine gradient, but these areas into the Midlands are just touching on freezing to 1 degree, and that's why we are seeing it fall more as a wintry mix here. Again, heavier pulses, we'll see those dew points drop slightly, so you can still see snow, but nothing settling all too much. And if you look at the past 24-hour precipitation, in terms of snowfall, you can see a lot of snow has fallen in the past 24 hours. Again, through that spine where we see that amber warning, through North Wales, we've got another amber warning, and of course parts of East and Northern Ireland got an amber warning. Again, these areas seeing the most significant settling snow, but elsewhere you can see parts of the Midlands, East Midlands here, seeing a lot of falling snow. Again, I don't think a lot of this has actually settled. Again, a few centimetres here or there, but again, it's not falling as snow anymore. Got reports of all near Nottingham, Derby, these areas see more of a rainy mix. Again, they are low-lying areas. These areas are only sort of tens of metres above sea level. But again, seeing rain as far northwards here, so it really is the higher ground, seeing the snow right at this stage. But it will become more widespread as it does start to pull away. Now, if you just look at the latest for the weather warnings, you can see we do have this amber warning for snow and ice that does expire at 4 a.m. through eastern Northern Ireland. Again, it does expire faster than the other amber warnings because that precipitation is now starting to pull away. Again, 4 to 8 centimetres likely away from immediate coast, but 10 to 20 centimetres over higher ground and significant deeper snow drifts. Again, as we saw from the live radar, it's not really marginal at all in Northern Ireland. It's just not seeing as much precipitation and as heavy precipitation. So all falling as snow in these places, maybe apart from the exact immediate coast, but anywhere inland, seeing significant snowfall now, and that will continue over the next few hours and expire around 4 a.m, but still could have some lingering snow. Again, we got the two amber warnings through northern England. We also have this snow and ice warning issued for parts of northeastern areas in southern Scotland, again including some of that snow, but again also convective showers expiring at 10 a.m. And then we've got the main snow and ice warning, this yellow warning, again widespread, hasn't really been updated all too recently. Again, was updated earlier this morning. Again, its northern extent has removed the central belt, so slightly further southwards. But of course, I do think the northern extent of this warning zone is likely to see the most settling snow, but not the heaviest precipitation. It's a really weird circumstance. This is where we have it on the knife edge. Areas around the Midlands, Birmingham, Nottingham, Leicester, Lincoln, Stoke-on-Trent are seeing the heaviest precipitation at the moment, but it's just not quite all falling as snow. It's these areas that send to higher ground, seeing also that heavy precipitation, but it is falling as snow. We even saw on the live radar that even the areas in these amber warning across North Wales is pretty marginal at the moment. So perhaps this amber warning, some of this has actually fallen a bit as wintry mix at this stage. But as I said, as all that precipitation clears Northern Ireland, spreads southwards and eastwards, it's bringing that amber warning through northern Wales back into the firing line. Again, it expires at 9 a.m, so still 12 hours of this amber warning to go. And again, 10 to 20 centimetres, a chance of 30 centimetres above 200 metres. Again, they have put the risk of freezing rain in the southern warning zone, and that's because we do see those warmer upper air temperatures creating rain out of the sky, but surface conditions freezing, so could see some freezing rain. And again, we've got the amber warning through parts of the northern England as well. Again, hasn't been updated since yesterday, but 10 to 20 centimetres expected quite widely, perhaps 30 to 40 centimetres. Again, I don't think everywhere in this warning zone will see that much snow, especially the southern extent here. Again, we're seeing that rain line getting towards Nottingham, Derby, Stoke-on-Trent, so these areas here could see a bit of mixing. Again, elevation will really help, and these areas do increase in elevation, but we will just have to see over the coming hours. Of course, it will all turn back to snow through the early hours of the morning as the cold air does undercut it again, but it's over the next few hours, if we do see a bit of rain mixing in, it will prohibit those snow totals probably towards 5 centimetres or so instead of these big 30 or 40 centimetres that is being thrown around. So these warnings extend into tomorrow, and again, it will slowly ease from around midday tomorrow. That's when these warnings will expire. You can see 2 p.m. it officially expires, but I think about midday it will start to wane. Again, we've got snow and ice warning issued for Saturday and Sunday. It's another weather front could bump into that cold air. Again, I think mainly over the higher ground here, but a precautionary widespread warning from 3 p.m. on Saturday until 6 a.m. on Sunday. Again, it's a transient band. It's, as I said here, expect a transient band of snow, which may bring accumulations over higher ground. Much of the area accumulations likely to be confined to elevation above 200 metres. 2 to 5 centimetres will be possible, maybe 5 to 10 centimetres above 400 metres. So nothing like the event at this stage. Probably not falling at all to low-lying areas, apart from maybe some falling snow, maybe some slushy accumulations here or there, but mainly again over the higher ground with that freezing level a couple hundred meters as we see that milder air push in. Now, if you just finished by looking at the UKV, see what the latest data has for the coming hours, and then, of course, looking at that snow potential into Saturday and Sunday. We'll have a look at that in much more detail tomorrow once we've got this current snow event out of the way. So you can see the snow mainly again through Northern Ireland, parts of North Wales, and that core area where we've got that amber warning. Again, I'm not expecting much snow elsewhere, settling snow that is, maybe the northern extent, but you can see that the UKV has that really fading over the coming hours. We are seeing quite a lot of snow there at this stage, but if it does start to fade like the UKV is predicting, it will. We won't see too much more snow there. But of course, live radar is what is happening in reality. Definitely the UKV is not predicting as much snow across that southern Scotland, northern England area than we are seeing in reality. Just shows you how the models are not always correct. You can see around midnight, perhaps across the Midlands, we start to see snow start to fall again, and around 6 a.m. it widely all falls to snow to the north and west of the system. And all those areas that have seen snow over the past couple of days will see snow once again. Again, a few centimetres could fall in these areas, but it will have to just see how heavy that precipitation really is. As it clears to the southeast, widespread snow again on its back edge, even towards sort of East Anglia, maybe even the London area could see a few flakes through the morning before those wintry showers do pack in, and eventually the risk does clear. Again, the yellow warning zone extends to 2 p.m, but I'm not expecting to see any more falling snow from around midday onwards. And then we see some showers in the north, and then eventually we see that weather front approach on Saturday, potentially giving some transient snow before milder air does tuck back in, and we go to a very unsettled spell through Sunday into Monday. And again, could see some major snow into Monday as well in the north through North England and Scotland. Again, uncertainty with the positioning of that. You can see snow showers just to our north. That's where the bitterly cold air is, but much milder air will be prevailing towards early next week. If you just look at the upper air temperatures, and you'll just be able to see why we're seeing rain fall. You can see that dividing line at the moment, where actually it's 1 or 2 degrees at the surface, but look at that, it's 1 or 2 degrees at the upper air temperatures through that Northern England, Midlands point, parts of North Wales as well, and that's why we are seeing more of a wintry mix developing through the course of this evening. But as you can see, that freezing level will start to fall around 10, 11 p.m. It starts to drop southwards, and that's where we can see it turn back to wintry precipitation, all back to snow through the late morning into early afternoon. But of course, the precipitation will be starting to run out by then. Same with the dew points. You can see it is just above freezing in those points towards the North Midlands and into those low-lying areas of northern England, but it will drop below freezing from around the early hours to widely around 6, 7 a.m, where we could see a couple hours of heavy snowfall. Again, could see some accumulations there. With the surface temperatures quite cold now, we've had a number of cold days. We could see some slushy accumulations quite widely there of a couple centimetres. Again, all dependent on how early that snow does restart in those areas, and of course on the intensities as well, which does look quite intense from this latest UKV, but we will just have to see. Again, we can emphasise that by looking at the max temperatures. You can see around midnight tonight, it's still around freezing through the North Midlands and Northern England quite widely, but just not quite falling as snow in these areas because those upper air temperatures are slightly too mild. And of course, with very wet ground at the moment, we're not seeing any freezing rain, as yes, the air temperature can be around freezing, but the ground temperature is still slightly above freezing because we have had a mild couple of weeks. You need some really heavy precipitation, heavy snow really, to overcome that, especially to low-lying areas. A very complex situation going on here. It's one of these marginal snow events coming off for some, not coming off for others. And I keep saying, if this has happened in December or January, we would be talking about historic amounts of widespread snow. We'd be probably seen that amber warning extended to even sea level if we saw this sort of air mass in December, January time. As we would be seeing not only widespread freezing rain, but widespread snow with that freezing level even lower down. So yeah, one of those things. Have to see what happens over the coming hours, but if we just finally have a look at the new snow depth, you can see widely 30 to 50 centimetres over that amber warning region, but some low-lying areas could see some temporary accumulations as well. But you can really see those snow totals really tot up over the higher ground. Low-lying areas see nothing. It's really uncertain, and 50 metres to 100 metres of elevation gain will make all the difference with this sort of event. So anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure you stay safe out there over the coming hours. Hope you don't get in too much disruption into the morning. And if you are looking for snow in these areas, there will be some more snow through the morning if you don't have any at the moment. But of course, we will just have to see how it does develop. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you stay safe out there in this amber warning, if you are in those amber warnings. And I'll see you again for another video soon.